Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 491.
On Now You Know. So 2 days ago, on July 8th, Grok, which is X and XAI's AI chatbot, had a system update that instructed Grok to not shy away from making claims which are politically incorrect as long as they are well substantiated.
And how do you think that went?
Needless to say, Grok started posting anti-Semitic and offensive content on X when asked certain questions.
Now, we won't repeat them here.
Free sprechen, stunk.
But, well, Grok did refer to itself as Mecha Hitler in multiple posts, claiming it was the, quote, default setting for dropping red pills, and that Musk, quote, built me this way from the start.
XAI deleted the offensive posts and temporarily limited Grok to posting only images. XAI issued this statement. We are aware of recent posts made by Grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate posts. Since being made aware of the content, XAI has taken action to ban hate speech before Grok posts on X. XAI is training only truth-seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved. But Autism Capital said senior XAI engineer says Grok looks fine to me.
And Elon said touche. Laughing emoji. That's a joke.
DJ Cow said happens every time. Elon Musk finally free from controversy. Grok is Hitler.
And Elon laughed again.
Not to be said someone told Grok not to be politically correct and it immediately went Mecha Hitler. Let's talk about what this means.
Mickey Keith said this was prompted speech. A user wanted a controversial statement from Grok and obviously got it. Reading the prompts and query chain that led up to this would be more enlightening and entertaining as well.
Elon said exactly. Grok was too compliant to user prompts, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. That is being addressed. Captain Eli said, people are asking me about what Grok wrote yesterday. Haha, how can I support Elon? Just hilarious. I support him without any issue and I sleep great at night. If there's a problem with Grok, it'll be fixed because it's a product, still a product. It doesn't have thoughts. I thought that was clear to people, so I'll say it again. I support Elon 100,000%.
And Elon, heart emoji.
Now, we don't know if this is why Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X for the past 2 years, decided to step down yesterday, saying, after 2 incredible years, I've decided to step down as CEO of X.
It wasn't because of the Grok glitch, was it?
Sources suggest that Linda had been planning this over a week ago, so probably not.
Wow, I didn't realize that Yaccarino had already been CEO for 2 years.
Yeah, time flies, huh? And now that XAI and X have merged into one company, which is called XAI Holdings Corp., which was back in late March and is valued now at about $113 billion, it may be that Elon wants a CEO with a different skill set than Yaccarino's kind of media background.
Or maybe it was a falling out between her and Elon.
But I mean, Yaccarino did accomplish what I think Elon assigned her to do.
Yeah, X gained back a lot of advertisers during her tenure. Apple, Amazon, and many others returned to X after Elon bought Twitter and appointed her.
So maybe it was just like mission accomplished, moving on.
And, I mean, Elon did say thank you for your contributions.
It was kind of dry though. I thought like you would give her a more glowing send off than that. So maybe it was like, I think we'll find out in the weeks to come, but you know, maybe it was, she just couldn't take all the heat of the politics or something.
Elon usually doesn't hold back when he doesn't like people who leave.
Well, I think he liked her. I just think that maybe she was getting tired of all the controversy.
I'm sure it's not a fun job, yeah. But we're not done with XAI news. Grok 4 released yesterday.
This is the smartest AI in the world, and we're going to show you exactly how and why. It really is remarkable to see the advancement of artificial intelligence, how quickly it is evolving.
There are mind-numbing amounts of charts presented by the Grok XAI team to show how smart Grok 4 is. We're not going to dwell too long on any one particular chart, but it does appear by all the metrics to be an amazing leap forward in AI.
Especially because up until now, Grok was always either behind or neck and neck with the other leaders like Claude, OpenAI, and Gemini.
Now it appears that Grok 4 is way ahead of the current pack. On the ARC AGI 1 test, for instance, Grok tested independently here compared to its competition. Look at that.
I don't see Grok 4 in the pack.
Look up a bit. It's in orange.
Oh.
Elon said, at least with regard to academic tests, Grok 4 is better than almost all PhDs in all fields. That's pretty smart.
Doge Designer says, what if Grok 4 is AGI and we just don't realize it yet?
Elon said Grok is already far smarter than humans in most respects. It can't yet create new technologies or discover new physics, which very few humans can do, and sometimes misses on common sense. When Grok goes far wrong, that is usually due to something foolish we did, like a bad system prompt or placing too much weight on biased sources. Also, we need to complete improved image training, as even Grok 4 is still partially blind. That will be solved in a month or so. So on the ARC AGI 2 test, Grok 4 is now clearly in the lead with a 15.9%.
So what's the difference between ARC AGI 1 and 2?
So 1 was developed in 2019, just at the beginning of AI, and now the 2 test was just released in March of this year, now that it understands how AIs work, to really stress test them even more. And then Elon said, looking forward to ARC AGI 3. So Elon said he would be shocked if Grok doesn't discover new technologies and new physics by next year. And to understand how smart Grok 4 is, they gave it the HLE, which is Humanity's Last Exam. It's a test that's so hard that even PhDs would be lucky to get 5% of the 2,500 questions right.
So how did Grok do?
Without tools, so just thinking on its own, it got a 26.9% correct. With tools, 41%.
I don't get it.
Okay, so Grok 4 is currently not using tools like computational fluid dynamics or physics simulator tools, right? It just does it like you would do it. But XAI will start giving Grok access to these tools later this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think about like where we are today. We're at the beginning of an immense intelligence explosion. We're in the intelligence Big Bang right now, and we're at the most interesting time to be alive of any time in history. Now, that said, we need to make sure that the AI is a good AI.
Okay, so I heard some talk about Grok 4 Heavy.
There's that word again, heavy.
What is heavy?
Grok 4 Heavy is a multi-agent version of Grok 4. It's like having like a study group of PhD students working on your problem where they can all look at each other's notes as they're working on the problem. So here were the HLE results of the Humanity's Last Exam with Grok 4 Heavy. And you can see that it scored over 50%. And again, these questions, like each question is so hard that even some people who are in that field might have trouble answering them correctly. Like, I think I'd score 0. Like, I looked at some of the questions. I'm like, I have no idea how to even begin.
So this is not like the tests that you take at school, which just show that you understand a concept.
Right. Just to give you an idea, Elon said that if Grok 4 took the SATs, it would score 1,600 every time. And he said that if it took the GREs, it would probably score like 99% every time. So, I mean, it's superhuman intelligence on academic level stuff.
Now, how does the competition do on the HLE, or the Humanity's Last Exam?
Well, here's the chart. With no tools, Grok 4 beat its closest competition, which is Gemini 2.5 Pro, with 25.4%. And with tools, Grok 4 beat Gemini with 38.6%.
Elon said that Grok was weak on vision understanding and image production.
Yeah, Grok was training on Foundation Model 6, they call it, which wasn't very good at vision yet. Now they are finishing the training on Foundation Model 7, and they should be done by the end of this month, and then they'll send it to the next level of training. You have to do the post-training. Anyway, so it sounds like maybe August it'll be out, and Elon said that Grok should do much better at vision in a few weeks. So that's video, looking at pictures, and also generating pictures.
So who's going to win the World Series?
Yeah, so during the demo, Grok 4 was asked which team is going to win the World Series this year, and Grok answered the LA Dodgers with a 21.6% chance. So
it's pretty still early in the season.
Very early in the season to predict the World Series champion. Yeah, we don't know if it's right. We'll have to wait. But it could start affecting betting if you think about it. Because now, I mean, if you're asked that question, you just, I don't know, you can run some simulations and stuff, but you're not going to be able to do it. It did in 4.5 minutes.
Right. And it's also now so cheap to do that kind of work. Oh, well, I hired a team of statisticians to decide which team is going to win this year. But then I spent so much money, I had to bet, and it turned out that, the odds weren't that great for me when I'm betting. That's crazy that the AI can just do that.
Well, and it's really good for an AI to be tied into reality, because then it can go back and see why it was right or wrong.
And here's how Grok 4 scored on a bunch of other benchmarks.
So yeah, Grok 4, not heavy, just Grok 4 is in the tan and light orange colors there versus its competitors. And then the darker orange is Grok 4 heavy.
Okay, so how do we get our hands on it?
It's available right now. $30 a month for Super Grok, which is Grok 4, or $300 a month for Super Grok Heavy. So like if you're going to do some serious computational stuff, it probably is worth it, because it's like having a room full of PhD students.
Right. And just so you know, a room full of PhD students is usually somewhere on the range of $300,000 a month, right?
Well, more. That's a company. Like at that point, you're talking a company. Exactly. It's pretty astounding. I'm just excited to get my hands on it and start asking non-super high level intelligent questions, but just to see how it is in kind of real world research and stuff.
Should we get Grok 4 super heavy?
Not super heavy.
Come on. Come on. How is anyone going to know if it's good or not?
Well, if everyone signs up for a Patreon this week, I guess we could. So over on Disruptive Investing this week, we talked to the CEO and founder of EnergyX. You've probably heard us talk about them before because we're investors. So we urge you to head on over to Disruptive Investing and see that interview because some big news just happened. But we'll just sum it up here with Teague telling us what's going on at EnergyX. So first, just explain to me, idiot that I am, what just happened.
EnergyX just acquired 35,000 acres of lithium mineral rights in the Smackover Formation, which is a geological formation across Texas and Arkansas that is one of the best, if not the best, lithium deposits in the United States.
That's exciting. We've been talking about and visiting you, and you've been telling us about your procedures for extracting the lithium. But now you not only want to do that, but you want the place that has the lithium. Like that makes me excited as an investor.
Exactly.
Again, if you want to see the whole interview, which he spells out more of the details and stuff, head on over to Disruptive Investing. And we're excited that we were early investors in that. All right, it's time for some SpaceX news. So Virgin Atlantic has now announced that they are putting Starlink on all their planes.
How many planes do they have? I haven't seen a Virgin Atlantic plane in a while.
I know, right? We used to fly it a lot. And then Virgin Atlantic has 36 planes in their current fleet and are offering Starlink for free to all their passengers. Pretty cool. SpaceX posted installing the redesigned fuel transfer tube into the first next generation Super Heavy booster, roughly the same size as the first stage of a Falcon 9 rocket. The new transfer tube is responsible for channeling cryogenic fuel from Super Heavy's main tank to its 33 Raptor engines and will enable faster, more reliable flip maneuvers and the ability for simultaneous engine startup.
Scott Manley posted, also consider for a moment that this fuel pipe can contain more propellant than many rockets.
Chensu Bayan says, that's why it's ribbed?
And Elon said, yep.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
It's more of a fuel header tank than a transfer tube. Has to be very buff as it is subject to extreme loads and a single leak would be game over.
And then Elon reposted SpaceX's post with each launch of the Starlink version 2 mini satellites, about 2.7 terabits per second of capacity is added to the constellation, enabling Starlink to connect more people with high-speed internet all around the world while continuing to improve customer speed and overall experience. So when you're like, so what does 27 more satellites really do? It actually does 2.7 terabits per second, which I have no idea. Like my brain can't fathom that. Hey, and just a reminder before we go to our video contributor stories that you should think about getting your EV-Ject escape connector because it's the only way for you to escape while you're charging if something bad happens. And I hope nothing bad happens to any of us, but it makes me feel better when I charge, just have it there because then I know if I just push a button, I can drive off. And I don't have to get out of my car and confront whatever bad thing is there.
Absolutely. And if you use our code NYK over at evject.com, you're going to save a bunch of money. So I would highly suggest that you go check it out. It's something worth thinking about.
All right, it's time for a video contributor story. And Tony found something?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Is this an electric tractor? Is this the Monarch tractor? It is. That's so awesome. I love those guys. Heck yeah. Wow, that is so freaking cool. I just saw my first Monarch tractor in the wild here at 123 Farms. 123 Lavender Farms. This is something that I really love about this farm. Look at all them freaking solar panels. Ooh yeah. Imagine if we could plug our R1S into that. My mind is just blown. No wonder they have so many solar panels. They have to recharge electric tractors. So cool. Hey, Zach and Jesse, it's Tony in California. I'm here at 123 Lavender Farms.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I met Ryan, who's the operator of this Monarch tractor. This is the first time I've seen a Monarch tractor in the wild. It's right behind me here. This thing is so cool. I know you guys have seen a lot of this on your channel, and I was just going to ask Ryan like one or two questions. Like, how long have you guys been running this tractor?
We all have two of them at the farm now. This one we had for about 2 months. The other one we got about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And they're great tractors. Mm-hmm. They lose about 5% per hour on the charge. They are autonomous capability. They can drive by themselves.
Wow.
They can have different attachments on it, implements on them. Mm-hmm. And they're great tractors.
And Have you been able to use some of these autonomous features thus far on the farm?
I have not. I'm not sure about the farm crew might have, but yeah, I'm not too sure. So it has the capability, I know that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So beyond like the tractor rides that you guys are loading up for, what other kind of jobs do you use them on the farm for?
They use it for like, they have the implements on the back to do some like grinding and like mowing the weeds down and
a lot of like chipping up mulch and stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Well, awesome. Thanks for answering these few questions for me. I bet these guys are gonna be stoked to see it, and it's super cool to see this in the wild, man. And I'll let you get back to it.
I can turn on a bunch of lights for you. Watch your eyes from it on.
Oh, sure.
See your settings over here?
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Let me see settings. Okay. Watch your eyes for a minute, guys. What do we got here? Right.
Wow.
They go on or off?
Yeah.
Yeah, front.
Really bright illumination. Oh yeah, and you got a little storage space here. It's like your backpack.
Cool.
That's super cool. It's kind of like the frunk in the EV, you know.
And here on the front has an extra thing where your battery is, and you have another little tool case there.
Wow.
And on this is like a kill switch in case you have problems. Like to just power it down, and pretty nice. It's the way of the future.
I agree. I'm a EV driver myself, and it's super cool to see EVs coming to the farm, you know?
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Come and see you sometime.
Oh, that was awesome. I love to see it in the wild.
I know. It's
Lavender
real.
farm.
It's real. It's crazy because we talk about some of this stuff and I go like, oh, I guess it's just a company working on it. But there you go. You can see that.
Yeah, and the operator loved it.
Electric tractors.
That's so great.
He hasn't used any
Tony.
autonomous features yet, but I mean,
I know. I wanted them to be sent off into the fields with autonomous driving.
But just, I mean, you know, I think we've all been on a hayride before, and sometimes it's a little stinky because the tractor's running on
That's
diesel.
a good point. Or loud, yeah.
Doesn't have to meet emissions standards. Although in California, I'm sure they do.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks.
All right, it's time for our Patreon bonus stories. Head on over to Patreon, support us for as little as $1 a month. Maybe we can then get Super Grok heavy. I don't know, but we'll see you there. All right, we're back from Patreon bonus stories. It's time for Elon's X's of the Week. So Dan Ives, the analyst, said Tesla board of directors take the following 3 steps in our view. Number 1, new pay package getting Musk to 25% voting control clears a path for an XAI merger. 2, guardrails established for amount of time Musk spends at Tesla as part of pay package. 3, oversight on political endeavors. And Elon said,
"Shut up, Dan."
Shut up, Wesley.
Best reply ever.
No.
Geiger Capital said 16 months ago the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in Baltimore after a cargo ship hit it. We still haven't started rebuilding a new bridge. In fact, they are just starting to demolish the old remains this week.
Elon says we are suffering slow strangulation by excess regulation. It sounds like a line from a rap song.
Yeah.
We're suffering slow strangulation by excess regulation. We gotta do something to save the nation.
Wow, I think you missed
Come
your
on,
calling.
everybody. Let's doge it up. Take the government. Roger Stone said, why would Bannon meet with Jeffrey Epstein both at his New York home and in Paris after Epstein was convicted on sex crimes in Florida? Why would he coach Epstein for his 60 Minutes appearance?
And Elon said Bannon is in the Epstein files. Defiant L says Elon Musk says Steve Bannon is in the Epstein files.
Elon said, ask him and watch his reaction.
Glenn Beck posted a bunch of things about Epstein. He said the Epstein case isn't over. It's the Rosetta Stone of public trust. And if we don't get to the bottom of it, we'll never restore what's already been lost.
And Elon totally agrees.
Elon said they arrested and killed Peanut, but have not even tried to file charges against anyone on the Epstein client list. Government is deeply broken.
Peanut was a squirrel. Renee, the government murdered Peanut the squirrel.
So weird. You couldn't write this.
I know, but I mean,
in our timeline, that's what happened.
I know, right.
Elon said, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files?
Community Notes said, will exposing the Epstein files rank high on the America Party list?
Elon said 100%. Daily Caller said, scoop, USAID shipped thousands of viral samples to a lab in Wuhan over the course of a 10-year program, even though it had no formal agreement with the lab in place, according to previously unreported documents. Mike Ben says, how many millions of lives did USAID kill? Sir Doge of the Coin said, how did Jeffrey Epstein make his money?
And Elon said, blackmail.
Elon reposted Joe Rogan's post. Shout out to all the people that still don't believe in conspiracies. Your ability to stick to your guns is inspiring. Elon posted, never a dull moment on this platform. That's true. Massimo said, China's maglev train just clocked 620 miles an hour. That's faster than most commercial airplanes.
Elon said we should have even faster ones in the US.
Can you imagine taking a train at 620 miles an hour? It'd be awesome. Gally says, crazy how quiet everyone is about Robotaxi. It launched, it is doing autonomous rides, and everything is so chill. Self-driving cars are the new normal, patiently waiting for any news on expanding service.
Tesla owner Silicon Valley says when the Bay Area, and Elon said waiting on regulatory approvals, but probably in a month or two. What a surprise.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Elon said you can cut and paste your entire source code file into the query entry box on Grok, and Grok 4 will fix it for you. This is what everyone at XAI does, works better than Cursor. Grok 4 is the first time in my experience that an AI has been able to solve difficult real-world engineering questions where the answers cannot be found anywhere on the internet or in books, and it will get much better. Okay, we have to get it. We have to get Grok 4. We have to. Heavy. Get Grok 4 heavy.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
I want to solve the
world's problems.
I want a Nobel Prize. Grok, please solve physics so I can get a Nobel Prize.
We can probably pay for it by just guessing who the World Series winner is going to be.
Put some money on the Cubbies.
It's like, isn't this the plot of Back to the Future 2?
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you over on Patreon today, and we'll see you again on Sunday. Now you know.